Christensen or O'Reilly and Trashman? Who's right? So
Yeah,
what about innovator's dilemma?
Big old question.
And is the ambidextrous organization, you somehow sort of mentioned it already, is this the answer to it?
So here's my answer to that one, which is Christensen used to be right. Right?
Okay.
And well, you know, you think about it, at the time at which, and I remember the first time I met Clay, actually, it was quite funny. It was while I was lost on the Harvard Business School campus looking for the classroom that Mike Tushman was teaching in. And then turned up, and then it was Clay, and actually he was teaching that class with us at IBM. And his analysis of that we all face, every company will face this moment of disruption. This is brilliant. This is like, you know, Michael always says, if there were a Nobel Prize in the area of business, then surely Clay Christensen would have won it several times over for this insight. But he then goes on to say that only startups can win at these moments of disruption, right? That incumbent firms will always fail when it comes to this moment when all of the rules change. And I think that what we've learned is that remains a real tension. You know, an incumbent firm struggles to change, right? But we've all learned this lesson now. There's a lot more understanding of what it means and what the causes of that difficulty are. That you know, I think we spent a lot of time at first wrapped up in the sort of the dead end of thinking that the reason why firms were disrupted was because they didn't see disruption coming, right? That in some way we were lacking insight. But the reality is that most of the firms that get disrupted actually have the technology already. Polaroid, Kodak. My favorite is the Swiss watch industry, right, which goes bankrupt in the 1980s and gets recovered only by Hayek with Swatch. But the point is that they had the quartz movement, and they demoed it at trade shows, right? And they deny it. And this is now going on all over the world, that firms with the technology, you know, now see it. We now understand that it's there, and we know if we just evade it and ignore it, then we're going to struggle. So that's not good enough. Nor is the notion that we see it, but we don't sort of believe the business model. We don't understand what it takes to commercialize. We have perhaps excessive focus on business model innovation nowadays, right? Like this is what your group started with, right? This is where so really the third explanation is that we see it, we believe it, but we can't act. And that's where I think we now are, is we have to understand what are the causes of corporate failure to act on the opportunities that they see, right? And that's where ambidexterity comes to